So, first of all, let's a little bit recall some electricity from the unit 1-2 about the circuit. First of all, reminding you that Ohm's law, that voltage equal current times resistance. And there are two types of connection of the resistors. There is a series connection when we have R1, R2, and current, total current is the same everywhere. Current through the one resistor is the same as the current through the second resistor. And total voltage is the sum of the voltages, so voltage is shared between the resistors. And so total resistance can be calculated as the sum of the resistors connected in series. And most of the time in this area of study we'll be dealing with a series connection, like 95%. It's very rare when it will be parallel connection coming in, but let's recall parallel connection of the resistors is like this. And if we have R1, R2, we'll have current that coming is split in two, I1, I2, and total current, so it's equal I1 plus I2, current split. Voltage is the same across everything that is in parallel. And for resistance, we have 1 on R equal 1 on R1 plus 1 on R2. It just reminds you what we learned last year. No, in unit 1-2. No, exactly. Can you recall this? That looks familiar. And one more thing that we need to recall: power, formula for the power of the current. And there are three formulas which can be one interchanged into another using Ohm's law. So we have VI, or I squared R, or V squared divided by R. They all interchange, same formula. We just, if it's using Ohm's law, we can turn each of them into each other. That's the power of the electric current. And if we have, now that's all from unit 1-2. Just quickly recall that. Now, if we have AC current, when we have, let's say, voltage changes against time, like this. And we want to calculate what the power delivered by this one. We have V squared over R. But which value of V we should put? It changes all the time. Do we have to put this called peak voltage? Do we should put this one? No, it's only momentarily that big voltage. Otherwise it's smaller. So that's the question, what to put. And we use it in calculating the power delivered by AC current. We're using so-called RMS value. What is voltage RMS? Voltage RMS is the voltage of the constant DC current, constant DC current, so the voltage is constant, which, so RMS is, voltage RMS is the voltage of the constant DC current which delivers the same power as AC current. So if you replace our AC current, we replace with the constant DC current, and we will want the same power delivered, then voltage will have to be at the value called RMS, root mean squared. And the relation between this voltage RMS and the peak voltage is voltage RMS equal peak voltage divided by root 2. And that's not something that was like let's equal that. That can be shown purely mathematically, and that will be our homework for Ashton and Aaron to derive this formula. And I tell you what to do. Because this is a good specialist, when teaching specialist math, I always give kids that question. Because what we do, how the voltage change over the time, how we can describe this. If we have that, we have frequency, this time this is a period t, and frequency is, what is the relation between frequency and period? 1 period. And so voltage against time will be equal voltage peak times sine 2 pi ft. That will be how this graph formula describing this graph.
Should we know that?
No. That's beyond unit 3 for physics. So that's pretty much what I will explain. I'll be setting up the question that Aaron and Ashton can try to do at home as a practice for specialist math. And then we want, first of all, we need to replace this graph V by the V squared over R. So this graph becomes, if I will make it V squared over R, so it will be only positive values, so this is something like this, becomes something like this. And we want the area under this graph be the same as area under this rectangle. But this we will make as well, so that is V squared over R, and this is V RMS squared on R. Huh? This is if you sine, we need square, when we square sine. When we square, of course, negative value becomes positive. And to solve it, you need to find antiderivative from 0 to t of Vp squared over R sine 2 pi ft dt. And this is a good special math practice to find this, sorry, sine squared. Sine squared. If you do it with just sine, then the 11 students will be able to do this as well.
You haven't done it.
You have not done anti-differentiation. Okay, then when you will do anti-differentiation, when you will learn in special anti-differentiation of the circular function, and you will be doing equations like finding, for example, derivative of like sine squared x times cos cube x dx, you will be doing something like that. When we learn technique how to do that, then you will be able. And if we do this, then we derive this formula, the voltage RMS. So voltage that provides the same area under the graph will be same as the area under this sine squared graph. We will get this relation. What you have to know in physics, that the relation between RMS value and peak voltage is voltage peak divided by root 2. Then I just explained that it's not came from somewhere, like from the sky. It just pure mathematically proven that the thing is we must deliver the same power. We're replacing, does that make sense? If you replace AC current by the constant DC and want same power, then the voltage of that constant DC power has to be voltage peak divided by root 2. Now, when we say, what are the voltage in the Australian power points? 240. Which value is that? Which value? It is peak or RMS? It is RMS. So, get your calculators out and calculate. If we have voltage RMS equal 240 volts, what will be voltage peak? How will you do
40
this?
times root 2?
Will be 240 times root 2?
Yeah, this is easy.
Huh?
339.
339 volts. So we have the peak voltage because we have AC current to the power points, and its peak voltage 339. But if you want the same power delivered, we can replace it with a constant DC current with a voltage RMS equal to 240 volts.
What is peak to peak?
Peak to peak will be double peak because peak to peak is from here to here. This peak to peak. If peak is 240, what will be peak to peak? 480.
But why would we need it?
Really, it's never used like anywhere, but in the equations you might have it, peak to peak. Makes sense? If peak is 240, then peak to peak is 480. Makes sense? Pretty straightforward. Okay, that what was RMS. Now we're looking into the device called transformer. Not a transformer that there are like cartoons, not the movies transformers, the device that makes things working and saving a lot of energy. Transformers. And the basic model of the transformer This is the basic model of the transformer. We have two coils. You have two coils on the same metal core. And those two coils, they have different number of turns. So let's see what happens if we have two coils close to each other. So this is one coil, this is another coil, and these represent the metal core that they have.
With the metal what?
Core.
Core. Oh. What's that?
Metal core.
The apple core.
Huh?
Like what is that? It's the metal. Oh, the metal's core.
Metal core. Why it's needed? To prevent flux, to concentrate flux in this area, to prevent, to make less flux going out. So to have all flux limited to those coils. And we have N1 number of the turns in the primary coil and N2 number of turns in the secondary coil. And we supply current here. And we measure voltage across the secondary coil. We supply current to the primary coil, to the first we call primary, and we measure voltage in the secondary. If we will supply DC current, constant DC, we connect battery. What will be the current in the second one? Let's say this one is, let's say 9 volts. And one, no, anyway, doesn't matter. Will be any current in the secondary? Will be any current in the secondary? No, correct. Why?
Because it's all in that one.
No.
No change in flux.
No change in flux. There is a flux. There is current flowing in this coil. So it creates magnetic flux. Does that magnetic flux going through the secondary coil? Yes. Yes, it's going out. It's going through this one. But there is no change. What we need to have induced current? Change in flux. So there will be nothing. There will be zero here.
What happens if you like turn it on and then you measure?
No, we will have momentarily, while we turn it on, we will have momentarily, it will show something, and when we turn it off, momentarily it will show, but then when no change, nothing happens. Now we connect here the AC current. Now we will have AC current. And let's assume the transformer is ideal, And all flux from the primary coil going through the secondary. Nothing is lost. And that is the purpose of the core. For in real transformers, they're not like separated. One coil and another one is like they're made on top of another one over the same metal core. So to make it even like close. And we have here we have voltage 1. And because flux will be the same. Flux the same. F1 equal F2. As I'm saying, we consider no flux going anywhere else. All flux created by the primary coil going through the secondary. And we will have voltage 1 equals N1 times the rate of the change of the flux. Voltage 2, go to put it on silence. Not bad. So, what will be voltage 2 equal? What will be voltage 2 equal? Faraday's law. We have N2 turns, and the rate of change of the flux is the same flux. So if you change it, the rate of change will be the same. Make sense? Now let's divide formula 2 by formula 1. We have, this is in the primary coil, and rate of change of the flux is the same through them. Flux is the same. We supply current here. Let's say we connected here some power supply and we supply AC current. And the change of the flux, we're assuming that it's ideal, all flux from primary.
Is that not a battery?
Sorry?
You put a battery in there.
It was, it's a different thing.
Now, when it was battery, we established that there will be no current here.
Yeah.
Zero voltage.
Yeah.
No, only after we turn it on, and will be zero. But now we'll have we'll have induced voltage according to Faraday's law, because we will have change in flux going through this one. As soon as we have change in flux, we will have induced EMF, which is voltage. Yes?
Is it change? Wait, is it changing flux because of the AC current? Is that why?
Yes.
Wait, so why doesn't the battery
That's
provide?
basic.
Sorry?
Why doesn't the battery provide a change in flux?
Because battery provide constant DC current.
Okay.
But if you sketch the graph of the voltage when you connect battery, and we have voltage provided by the battery against time, it is like this. It's DC constant DC battery. Let's say AA battery provides 1.5 volts all the time. No, until it dies. So, makes sense what I explained? Let's divide formula 2 by formula 1. We'll get V2 over V1 equal N2 over N1. So, we can, using transformer, we can change voltage as we want. And if we will have N2, so number of turns in the secondary is greater than N1, what we can say about voltage 2 compared to voltage 1? If we will have more turn in the secondary,
Straight up.
it will be greater. And that's called step-up transformer. Step-up transformer. If we have N2 less than N1, we'll have voltage 2 less than voltage 1, and we'll have step down.
What does the step up and step down mean?
Voltage increased or voltage decreased. For example, let's say we have N1 equal 20 turns, and 2 equal 100 turns. And we supply voltage 1, we supply 240 volts. what V2 will be equal? What will the voltage 2 equal? Using the transformer formula, we'll have V2 equal N2 over N1 times V1. So what voltage we'll get in the secondary coil? What will be voltage in the secondary coil?
52.
N2 divided by N1 equals what? 5 times 240, 1200. So we supply to primary coil 240 volts, and we get in the secondary coil 1200 volts. That will be step up. If we will have, for example, in
Can
the
N2 be greater than N1 but B2 be less than V1? Can N2 be greater than N1 and B2 be less than V1?
Can you repeat the question? Sorry. Can you please repeat the question?
Can N2 be greater than N1 and B2 be less than
No.
V1?
No, because from here, how it can be? Now, let's say we supply N1 equal 500 and 2 equal 50.
Okay.
And we supply V1, primary, we supply 240 volts. What will be V2 equal?
24.
Yes. You see, we have 10 times less turns, so it will be 10 times less voltage. And that's how the chargers work. Because when you plug in your charger into the power point, you have 240 volts there. Do you want 240 volts to come to your phone to charge it?
Probably not.
No, you want like 9 volts. And then we can change to 40 from 9 using transformer. Yes,
Is it a step up transformer or a step up some?
step up transformer. This will be step down transformer, this is step up transformer. Because it's stepping up voltage or it can step down. So we can, using transformer, we can change voltage as we need. Just change the number of the turns, we can receive, for given input, we can get whatever output we want. Make sense what the transformer, how it works? Now let's see how the transformer is used in the transmission of energy and how they lead to the great decrease, huge decrease of the loss of the power. So let's consider the next situation. We have an alternator. Alternator is let's say we have a generator that produces DC current. First consider DC current. We have generator, DC generator, which produces 500 volts, and it has power of, let's say, 10 kilowatts. We have a DC generator, which generates 500 volts and the power 10 kilovolts. And this generator used to power, let's say, some lights at the home. And because there will be some transmission line through which current will go, and it has some resistance, let's say resistance will be 1 ohm. Total resistance is 1 ohm. I mean total, both line there and line back. So all wires, total resistance 1 ohm. What kind of, and this is the light. What kind of connection it is?
Series?
Series. Because we have current coming, this is a power source, coming like this, and coming back. It's series connection. Not parallel, it's series. Now, what will be current here? What will be current? How we can find current? Let's recall that power equal voltage times current. If we have voltage 500 and power 10,000, then current will be equal 10,000 divided by 500 What is equal? 20. We'll have current here equal 20 amps. How much voltage will be dropped across the line? Voltage, and I call it voltage loss, because the voltage across the lines. It's not useful, one voltage delivered to the lines. What will be the voltage drop across the lines? Ohm's law, IR. We have 20 times, actually let's make, no, let's do it with this. 20 times 1 equal 20 volts. So voltage across the line, 20 volts. So how much volts delivered to the lights?
480.
We have 500 minus 20 is 480 volts. How much power lost will be lost? Probably let's change to make it more visible and dramatic. I will change, sorry, to 2 ohms. So we will have this will be 20 times 2 will be 40 volts, and this will be 460 volts. Now, what will be the power dissipated in the light? And make a note, when you're calculating power loss, always use formula I squared R. It does not mean you cannot use other formulas. We have 3 formulas for power. VI, I squared R, and V squared divided by R. You can use any, but always use only this. Because it is 50% chance that you will, if you use any other formula, that you put the wrong number and you will get wrong answer. Guaranteed. 50% chance. Doesn't mean that other formulas not applicable, but from the experience, if you use other formula, it's 50% chance that you will make a mistake. So what will be the power loss here?
800.
We have 20 squared times 2 equals 400 times 2, yes, 800 volts. And power delivered will be 10,000, will be 9,200 volts. Oh, that's actually not too bad, but still we have loss of the voltage, we have loss of the power. Now let's see what happens if we will introduce transformers. If you put here, instead of DC generator, we will put AC alternator. Alternator is an AC generator. Alternator. So if you say alternator, don't need to write AC. And we have the same thing, but here we have same thing, 20 amps, but we have here step-up transformer with a ratio of the turn 1 to 10. And here we will put another step-down transformer with a step-down 10 to 1, ratio of the turns. So what will be the voltage? So here we have 500 volts RMS. What voltage will be here? It's a step up 1 to 10.
5,000.
5,000 volts. But does power changes? Have you got increase in power?
No.
Yes.
Do we need to draw the curve?
Yeah. Power is the same. From here to here is the same. And power equal VI. If you make voltage 10 times bigger, what will happen to the current?
10 times smaller.
Current will become 10 times smaller. Because power is constant. Power from primary coil to secondary coil will be the same. No, in reality it will be a little bit less, some loss due to the heat, but we can see the ideal situation. So we will have now current here, I will be equal 20 divided by 10 equal to, current is 2 amps here. Does that make sense why current 2 amps there? We increased voltage, for the same power current has to be voltage 10 times bigger, current 10 times smaller. So what will be now voltage loss, voltage drop across wires? We have same Ohm's law, IR, but current now 2 times 2 equals 4 volts. Now we have voltage drop across the line only 4 volts. What will be the power loss? Power loss, again we're using only and only I squared R. We'll have 2 squared times 2 will be equal 8 watts. You see we decrease 100 times. Before we had 800 watts power loss. Now we lost only 8 watts of power. We decrease loss of power by 10 times. Yes?
I don't understand. How do we lose power if the power stays the same?
Power stays the same across transformer.
Right.
From primary coil to secondary coil. When current going through the wires, there is always some power dissipated, wires heating up when current flowing. And that loss of the power is this. It turned that much power will turn into the heat. That what means loss. Now, so how many volts we delivered here? If we have here 5,000, across wires the drop is 4 volts. How many volts we have here at the primary?
1996.
We have 500 minus 4, we have, 5,000 minus 4, 4,996 volts. So what will be voltage here after stepping down? 499.6 volts. You see, we delivered almost all 500 volts. And what power will be delivered? 10,000 minus 8. 10,000 minus 8 equal 9,992 watts. We delivered power 9,992 watts. So stepping up voltage before transmission, we have 10,000 watts
No, the other.
input.
499.6.
We got loss of 8 watts. So delivered 10,000 minus 8.
The voltage.
The voltage 499.6 because we have voltage drop across the line 4 volts from Ohm's law. We have 5,000 volts here after stepping it up. 5,000 minus 4,
Yeah.
4,996 volts. But then we have step down transformer.
Yeah.
You don't want that many volts.
Yeah.
You need less volts. And because it's 10 to 1, divide by 10, 499.6. Yes.
Does it go back across again, or is it just one time?
Sorry?
Does it go back across again or not? Like the voltage, does it go through the transformers again? Because the current...
No, but we producing generator. It's not like you press button at one time, deliver the pulse. It's delivered continuously.
Okay.
It's produced all the time, produces this.
Mr. B, when it's a step up, the voltage increases, the current decreases.
Yes,
When it's a step
and that many times the voltage increases, that many times current
And if it's
decreases.
a step down, then it's the other way. So
Other way, yes. Yes, exactly. Good observation. Any other questions? That's why when power is produced at the power plant, question?
I don't understand like that coil thing, which way it's facing. Like I understand.
What do you mean? It's two of them. It's a primary coil
Yeah,
and
but
secondary coil.
There the magnet isn't between the coils.
Okay, in reality, let's say these are little bit separated, this coil, because just to demonstrate to students.
Okay.
In reality, it will be one coil, and secondary, and it will be on the metal core, and the secondary coil will be moved around it. No, with the electrical, there is like insulation, electrical insulation between them, so current from one directly not going to another, but all flux from one going through another. A metal core needed just to concentrate flux, to prevent flux going out of the coil, just keep it all between coils.
Yeah.
So when power is generated at the power plant, it then, with the transformer, is stepped up. And it's transmitted at very high voltage. If you've seen the voltage transmission line, the big like, and there are, it could be millions of the volts. And there are 100,000s of the volts. And that's done to minimize current. And so to minimize the voltage loss. Then, when it's coming, you don't want to have 100,000 volts delivered to your home. And then will be step up transformer. If you look around your house, on your street, or on parallel, or somewhere nearby, you will find power poles on which you will see big metal box, which makes a little bit sound like zzz, and that is the step down, the final step down transformer, which steps it down to 240 volts, which come into your home. So you will always find it not far from you, because it's for every couple blocks there is a such last transformer. It does not make from in one step. It's usually stepped up gradually and then step down gradually. Yes, question.
Alright, so if you increase the number, like the ratio, do you save more power? Like the
As higher the voltage is, the less voltage loss will be.
so
The loss power loss will be.
so
The less power loss will be.
so if it said that was 1 to 100, you'd lose less than 4 volts.
Yes. Yes. Any other questions? Yes.
Yeah, I don't understand the power loss that much.
Power loss. Because when we have current going through the wires,
Yeah.
what happens? When you have wire and you have current going through,
And there's resistance. Oh,
and what happens? It heats up.
yeah.
It heats up. And heat is dissipated, so it's lost. Some electrical energy turned into the heat energy.
Okay.
And that's lost, because we don't want it. We want all energy come where we want it.
So why is the current 2 instead of 20?
Because here we stepped up voltage.
Yeah.
But power equal voltage times current. Power at primary coil is the same as the power of the secondary. So we have 10,000, we have here at the primary coil,
Yeah.
we have 10,000, we have 10,000 volts. Oh, sorry, we have 500 volts and 10,000 watts.
That's 5,000.
Here we will get 5,000 volts. And so current is power divided by voltage, 20 amps. Here we have 5,000 volts. But we still have same 10,000 of watts of power. What will be current? Current of power divided by voltage will be 2 amps. Because power equal voltage times current, you increase voltage 10 times, current becomes smaller 10 times.
Yeah. Okay.
Make sense?
Thanks.
Okay, that's pretty much all of the theory. Like, subscribe, and donate to help fight terrorist countries and organizations like Russia and Hamas support Ukraine and Israel.